Okay, well, I know I'm a little bit late to the game, but I wanted to get my own 2 cents out there, and it has been Banlist time. I've already seen it. I already saw this like literally when I woke up 2 days ago, and I go on YouTube and saw there was a list. This isn't so yeah. I've already been spoiled, but I still want to at least put my own thoughts out there as a say more of the casual side of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Master Duel. So let's go through this real quick. So starting to be unlimited, Thunder Dragon Colossus. I think this will be fine. I don't really think this is gonna do much. I don't necessarily like Colossus as a card just because I don't like Floodgates, but Thunder Dragon really hasn't been a thing in Master Duel for a while, so I think this will be fine. I don't think this is really going to change much. You might see the odd Thunder Dragon deck like on ladder more, but I think overall it'll be fine. Let's see, moving on. Water Enchantress. Oh, see, I am not good at this. We zoomed in so much. All right, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. We'll actually go down here. We'll use this from now on for it. Water Enchantress of the Temple. I think this will be cool. I haven't played the Adventure Engine myself. I've always been interested in it, but I think this is pretty good. I don't really think you're gonna be again still seeing too much. I don't think it's gonna shape up the format or anything too much. But welcome change. Change your heart to 3. I think this is pretty cool. Change Heart's a pretty decent card. I've heard that we're supposed to be getting Tenpai Dragon pretty soon. And also we can go into a little bit of the copium right here. I think this might also be maybe prep long down the road for if they hit Max C. And I only say that because if my thought is if Max C was to ever get hit, we would just go into a format where board breakers are more prevalent. So your Change of Hearts, your Regekis, Lightning Storms, all that. So I think this will be a pretty good change. Honestly, I kind of want me a Change of Heart. Eradicator Epidemic Virus from 1 to 3. Honestly, it's been a long time coming for this card coming back to 3. The only reason this card even like went down to 1 in the first place is because people like me and other lab players were just abusing it to no end. But even after it got hit to 1, we've still been, well, let me not say we, because I haven't played lab in a long time. But yeah, like this is gonna be fine. Like this is not something like most decks are gonna throw in anyway. The only deck that can like still run this can pretty good is lab, maybe even Trap Tricks, but like this is fine. This is gonna be fine. Chaos Space from 2 to 3. Again, I think this is fine. You know, you could kind of say this is a little bit of support for Dragon Link, which is also fine still. I mean, now, honestly, I thought I was going to have more fun. Like, I thought I was going to craft, like, you know, make my Dragon Link deck because, you know, Wyver Burster came back into the game. But, honestly, and I guess the way I've been feeling is, like, without Chaos Ruler, like, a lot of, I guess, I would say the more fun extensions that came with the Dragon Link just aren't there anymore. So I don't necessarily like the end boards that like we kind of have now. I mean, to a degree, like it had to be brought in, which I do understand, but I mean, still, like you can still get your, I mean, you can get your draws. You know, like I like to do the Dingalirius play, so. You know, I mean, if 2 Chaos Faces hit the graveyard, if Wyver Burster or Collapse Serpent are banished, then, you know, I can get my draw from them. But, I mean, honestly, even when I was playing Dragon Link, like, when it was, like, top tier, like, I probably only get the draw from Chaos Space once. So, I think this is pretty fine. Nothing, like, really too major. But, you know, nice little buff. Nothing too much. Cards to be semi-limited. Fire King, High Avatar Kirin. Admittedly, I still don't necessarily know like what each of the individual Fire King cards do. but according to like one of my friends who plays this basically takes one of their pops away. Honestly, like I can't make the call right now, so I'm gonna say I don't really think this is gonna do much. Fire King seems like it's one of those. It kind of reminds me of Unchained or even Dinos, like they just pop themselves to victory. I mean, if you take one pop away, which considering something that they do later on this ban list, I guess it's kind of weird for me to say, but you know, I think that this is pretty okay. But you know, we'll have to see what happens. But I think it'll be fine. Gold Sark to 2. I was actually kind of hyped when I saw this. This is another. You could say this is another Thunder Dragon buff. This is also a slight buff to Branded as well. Because you can banish your Tragedy or your Mercuriers. So you can get a combo started that way. So I think, honestly, I never thought I would see the day where Gold Sark would ever get off being limited. So I think that's pretty cool. And it's also not even a once per turn too, and it's a normal spell, so it's a thrust target. I mean, if like need be, I think that's pretty cool. But again, nothing too much. I don't think it's gonna shape up format. All right, now this is where my vindication starts coming in. Phantom of Yubel from 3 to 2. So, and I mean no offense to anybody if you happen to come across this. I am in a Master Duel Facebook group. And hold on, let me see if I can bring it up real quick. Like a couple weeks ago, I made a ban list that I thought would purely be for fun. And I made this when I remember like we were waiting for the I think we were waiting for the TCG ban list to come out. And for fun, I wanted to make my own ban list. And don't mind the other stuff. This was wishful thinking at the time, but oh damn, it's not coming up on screen. That's crazy. Is there a way for me to? Dang, I can't actually. Oh wait, hold up. Is it this? Oh. Okay. Well, that's fine. Anyway, I mean, fuck it. But anyway, so I made my own ban list, and I thought that it was worth it to actually semi-limit Phantom of Yubel. Not because I think that Yubel is necessarily a problem, but Phantom of Yubel not being a once per turn, and also being as versatile as it is. So like basically being used for link climbage, synchro summoning if you get a Veiler on the field. Like Phantom of Yubel to me was like the card that kind of made Yubel be a little bit more just a little bit more versatile, because you just had 3 bodies that you could get, and you could get them back into the extra deck too. So I think that this is a good change. Honestly, if I'm being realistic, they probably should put this at 1, but I guess with the fact of putting it at 2, the field spell can still recur it, so there's still ways that you can get to it. I think it's fine, but I definitely think that realistically, if this card doesn't see it, I mean, it's not going to see an errata anytime soon, I would guess. So I would say they should just go ahead and probably limit it to 1, because honestly, the fact that it's not a once per turn is like kind of crazy. Going to Dark Beckoning Beast. So I've seen the discourse kind of on this card. I've seen people say that this should have been put to like 1 even, and I guess my biggest issue with that is mostly like, so if you put it at 1, then kind of well, I mean, you can bring that other, there is another card that you can bring up with it, but I don't see people like running that at 2. It's like what is it? It's the Fiend monster. Hold up, where's my? It's the Fiend monster. That like even I used to run this with. I gotta let that build up for 2 seconds because this is taking a little bit of time. But I'm not necessarily like, I think putting it at 2 is probably where it's best at, because then even because yeah, you can still grab Opening of the Spirit Gates with it, or you can grab another Beckoning Beast. But if you were to put it at 1, so then it's what do you replace the other 2 with, I guess, is like the biggest question I have with this. So it's like level. God dang, man. Can I do the filter? I'm trying to do the filter. Yeah, it's like level 1. Jesus. All right, well, that's not coming up, but I guess it's okay. So I guess this is fine, honestly. I think, the starter is still like Samsara Lotus. This is a way to get to Opening the Spirit Gates, so I think this is fine. The next one is the big one, though. Opening of the Spirit Gates to 2. Personally, I think this one should have been limited high key. I mean, still putting it at 2. I feel like most people are already running it at 2 or 3, so that doesn't really change. You can still grab it with Beckoning Beast. I mean, it's also a way for you to get your Nightmare Pain back from the graveyard as well. So I guess maybe putting it at 2 in the case that your first copy gets destroyed or even banished or something. So there's still, if I had to guess, maybe it's still a little bit of consistency for you, Bell, but I think that should, I do kind of think it should probably be 1. Like, I think letting this stay unlimited or leaving it at 2 and Spirit Gates to 1, I mean, almost puts you, Bell, in a little bit more of a tougher corner to dig out of, but I guess overall it's fine. But I don't really see, like, it's the consistency, and I guess you could say the ceiling of Yubel has kind of gone down, maybe. But I still see, like, even with a Phantom at 2 and all of this at 2, like, they can still probably do a full, like, Appaloosa play, like, with setting up their board. So, I mean, we'll just see. Limited! Poplar, get the fuck out of here. So, Poplar to 1, from my understanding and from talking to some friends, that this essentially kills Snake Eyes as a deck, and it's now only going to be an engine. It also makes Poplar a Garnet. So if you start out with Poplar in your hand, you're honestly screwed. Good for them on this. I kind of find it funny, like when certain cards like follow the same version in all formats. So Poplar is limited to 1 across the board. Yeah. It's honestly long overdue. My initial thoughts to this was I really didn't think that this was going to be enough, because if you did the limited to 1 festival, even when you limited every single Snake Eyes card to 1, even the ones that people don't play, they were still able to do everything. So I could just possibly be overly pessimistic and say this probably isn't going to do anything, but I mean, we'll see. Fossil Dyna from 3 to 1. I'll be honest, I don't like this. Ban it. Ban this card, because all you do at this point, you just give stun players 2 more other cards to put in. So they put in they'll put in a barrier card, Inspector Borger. Like, there are replacements for this. I'm sorry. I hate floodgates. I don't think they're healthy for the game. I'm sorry, no. Cards like this are just a fucking cancer, and I don't care if it has 1,200 attack points. Like, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's cool, and you can swing over it, but if they have that fucking, like, broken moon mirror shield or whatever, like, I hate floodgates. Get out the game. All you did was just make barriers more of a thing now, so whatever. I mean, cool. Cards to be forbidden. No. This ban hurts me, because I have been playing tier for probably like the last anywhere from 4 to 6 months now. Like, literally, I made my tier limit deck right before the tier, like the day before the pack came out was when I made my tier deck, and I was so mad because Jesus, so many resources. But I've been enjoying tier a lot. I didn't play tier Shizu. I thought it was cringe. I hated it back then. But like with the version of tier that we've had now, I find it to be a lot of fun. I have like some really good interactive duels. Now, I do think that tier is still going to be fine, but the consistency of tier is what goes away now, because the field spell was essentially like running a second copy of Rhoda. Essentially, like activate Perla Rhino, and then if I need my Rhino Heart, then I'm getting my Rhino Heart now. Now, I don't think this fully means like Trivi Karma into like Tear Them and Scream or Grief is still good. And I wouldn't even say it's fully necessary to take out Rainbow Bridge either. You could still get Kashtira Fenrir just to have a bit of starter and protection. And like I run tier Horus, so I mean I could triple up on the field spell, so I have triple field spell, triple sarcophagus, and then kind of zombie vampire is gonna be your it's probably gonna be like your first attempt at a nil to try to get Rhinoheart or something in the graveyard, or Aqua Sea Mare in my case. I don't really think this is necessarily the death of tier, but like it's just another consistency hit. But at least some of the, like the Rainbow Bridge to Salvation into field spell, or the Trivi Karma into field spell, were definitely good ways to always get the field spell. So I get it. I just really dislike it. Because also the field spell was very good as far as trying to dodge in perms. The pop was really good. Sometimes if you combine this with Kaleido Hearts, like you could get like send one back to the deck and pop one. So that combo was just always appreciated. So I'm gonna be a little upset when that goes away. Ibli, actually these last two, because they're both the same. Ibli and Jowgen, fuck them, get them both out of here. I don't even care. Even like I didn't necessarily hate Ibli, but like I'd been seeing a lot of Ibli locks happening. I still think Sanctifier probably needs to be banned. Jowgen just being the new lock thing, like they've now banned Jowgen. They banished the gimmick puppet. And Sanctifier is the one, and Anaconda by extension, but again I'm coping there because I want Dragoon in the game. I'm more for the idea of banning the stuff that's actually enabling these plays to be made, which is your Sanctifier and your Anaconda. All you needed was Branded Fusion, Jowgen, and Albaz. Three cards in your X, essentially three bricks, and Anaconda gets you Sanctifier and a lock. And fuck locks. But overall, I think this was a pretty good ban list. Still a couple things I personally would have wanted to see. What was his name? The Snake Eyes card. The Snake Eyes Dragon card. Flamberge, yeah. I would have wanted Flamberge banned. Probably. Even again, me getting into like stuff I just dislike. I think even though it would kill some other decks, like Original Sinful Spoils should like be in the game. But you know, these are my thoughts. Jesus, this video's actually gone way longer than I intended to. But I think overall, decent ban list. Do I think it's gonna shape up the format any much so? Honestly, I don't really think so. Tier, not dead, but just overall power just restricted again. I believe now at this point, all cards that can lock you out with Sanctifier have now been taken care of. So I think this is honestly a pretty decent ban list. Excited to still be playing Master Duel. Hopefully some more. We get some more changes. I'm kind of coping for some hit to Max C after the OCG did something, but who knows? We'll see. But that is it. Thank you for watching. This is the first time I've actually ever done a video like this. So, but with that, I'm going to get out of here. Catch you for the next video. Drink some water. Take care.